to ask you about this United Nations climate chief, Simon Stiell, who's been in Australia meeting with Chris Bowen and preaching to us about the need to harden up our net zero targets. He's the guy who said fruit would be a once-a-year treat and there'd be mega droughts and the impact on our GDP would be $7 trillion if we don't set higher emission reduction targets. But Barnaby, it turns out he is from a small island of Grenada in the Caribbean, exactly. And while he was in government, he actually supported tax breaks for the oil and gas industry, presumably to bring a bit of, wealth to his country.
Oh, but he's had enlightenment, hasn't he? He's had the transition. He's joined the cult, but he's joined the cult as a cult leader, and cult leaders make lots of money, and he gets to fly around the world and be proselytised to us dear apostates, and the hypocrisy of this. It just reeks it, you see him there, and as soon as you see him the first time, you go, I don't know, it's like a dodgy beast in the yards. You're going, don't quite know about this, and then you dig down, and sure enough, another hypocrite. And when people take them seriously, that's what I can't work out. They get their dials on television and preach to us like most cult leaders do, and we're over this, and once more they tell you about the jobs that are never there. They tell you how power's cheap and it's dear. They wreck the environment. They tell you it's cheap, yet they've got to have a capacity investment scheme where you, the listener, has to subsidise and underwrite their right to make billions of dollars out of your wallet. The whole thing, and that's what cults do. Ultimately, they're always ripping money off people, aren't they? They strip the money off people, and they just treat you like fools. You know what happened? Just like most people, from Grenada, you should stick to the cricket. They need help in the cricket, the West Indies these days, and just stay away from preaching to us, please.
Well, speaking of wealth being stripped from people, Victorians are set to be slugged with higher energy bills to pay for a renewables project, get this, Barnaby, that suffered massive cost blowouts. Who would have guessed? A new report from AEMO has revealed something called a VNI West project. It's a transmission line plugging into the Victorian grid, which is already pretty controversial. It's jumped from $3.9 billion, that was the original cost, to $7.6 billion. Barnaby, what do you know about this? And do any of these renewable projects not blow out in terms of costs?
Oh, no, James, that can't be right, because we were told that renewables are the cheapest. No, you've got that wrong. We've got that totally wrong. No, of course you're right. And we're seeing the farmers down there protesting against the transmission lines, that are basically socialising their private assets. We all sit back and watch the socialist state of Victoria. We've seen their new dictums coming out of the things they wish to achieve in their new socialist paradigm. And one of them is the complete deindustrialising of Victoria, the division of communities, the pushing of pensioners into poverty. That's generally what happens under Stalin and Mao. This great leap, the great cult leap forward in the power. But I would say to the people protesting on the transmission lines, I'm 100% with you, but don't say that. You've got to understand, if you believe in net zero, you believe in the transmission lines. You can't have it both ways. To take the head off this serpent, we've got to take out net zero. That's the banner we bind together under, because if you keep on saying, well, I believe in net zero, but I don't want the transmission lines, then you've got to say, well, mate, if you believe in net zero, we've got to have the transmission lines. So get rid of net zero, and we have a clean, clear argument that I believe is getting real momentum right now with the Australian people to get rid of this.